Happy Wednesday, party people. It's your host, RP here. So this episode is a mini episode, and it wasn't intended to be one, but it's about a 10-minute segment that I cut from our episode that's coming out on Friday, just because the episode itself is pretty long, and it's not about Jurassic World at all, but it was still just good content of us discussing Stranger Things and the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's spoiler free and not super detailed like we usually go to, just because I was trying to keep it kind of short, just some quick thoughts as we sometimes do. But again, the episode is long enough, so I didn't want to cut it completely, but I also felt that it didn't necessarily belong in the episode. So it's just like a little mini episode, so it doesn't start out as a normal episode would. It's kind of just like picks up. So I just wanted to get on here and talk about it first. And so this is what we're kind of just calling, hey, what we're watching in June. And it's about Stranger Things and the first 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So here's just a little mini episode that leads directly into our Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom episode that'll drop on Friday. So enjoy. Remember to rate, like, and subscribe as always so you never miss an episode. And check out our TeePublic store. All right, enjoy this mini episode. 3 unqualified morons and microphones. This is the previously recorded podcast. So, before we get into the episode today, I know that we all, except for Nick, have finished Stranger Things. I know this is a Jurassic World episode, but Bob, you being the biggest of the Stranger Things fan, you just finished the episode for the season. Do you just want to share your thoughts on it before we get? We have a lot to unpack in this episode.
Yeah, we do have a lot to go over. It's fresh. So I'm not going to be like, oh, it's my favorite season. It took me, it came out 2 Fridays
a week and a half.
A week and a half, which is long even for me for 7 episodes.
Yep.
So, but I was like enthralled the entire time. I really enjoyed the season. I know it has its faults, I guess. People are complaining about things here and there.
But not from a story point, right?
No, I mean, it's what we just talked about it real briefly before we got on, but like the fact that Jonathan, Will, Mike.
Well, they'll save them.
Like that, they'll come back. Yeah.
They're probably by the end of the season have the same amount of screen time,
or they're gonna have like some super important thing that happens.
They're going to find
spot.
No spoilers, I suppose. But is it how many thumbs up would you give it?
My thumbs or T-Rex thumbs?
T-Rex thumbs.
It's 2 T-Rex thumbs up, and they're bigger than mine.
They are. So
if we could
smaller, like
compared to his body, but compared to your thumbs.
If
we could genetically modify you, how many thumbs up would you end up giving?
That's a good point. How many could I have?
On a scale of 1 to 4, since there's 4 seasons.
Where would I rank it, Amos?
No, yeah, go ahead. Or I'll just say out of 4.
It is fresh.
Out of 4 stars.
I would say this could be 1 or 2, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, I have to rewatch. You rewatch them all the time, so I would very much like to rewatch.
I don't enjoy as much as I did rewatching it, just knowing how much more happens to 3. It's not that 1's not good. It's also the one I've seen the most. I think 2 actually at this point is probably my favorite.
Yeah, well, I don't really remember what happened in 2.
2's the Mind Flayer. Will's out, but he's like being affected by him. 2's the one that we actually just looked at text up. They're in the hospital. Bob dies in 2.
Yep, yeah, I remember Bob dying.
They have to like interrogate him in the room where he can't see anything, which is like a really cool scene where they just like tape down all the walls so he doesn't know where he's at.
Yeah.
Because he'll tell the Demogorgons where 2 has like the underground stuff. There's just 2 at Dart when Dustin has like the pet Demogorgon, knowing that it's a Demogorgon.
Yep.
And then Max and Billy show up in 2.
Yep.
So I think that's probably my favorite still right now, but 4 it's definitely like inching there. Let's just see how they finish, I guess. I don't want to just rank
I'll
the
say
top
3
7.
3 I think has one of the coolest scenes where they're in the cabin and like all the Demogorgons are
that
attacking
is very
and 11's just like fucking them all up.
3 is good. I think and I think 4 is doing what 3 wanted to do better than 3. Like 3 had the different teams all over the place.
And 3's just a lot of like character development.
Yeah.
Where 4 is like...
But 3 is also a lot of like super horny Mrs. Wheeler. Like more of that than I needed probably.
I mean, look at her fucking husband.
No, but he's like a lot funnier in this one because he's just so obviously a dick in this season.
He's just like, take him to the cops.
Take him to jail. They got to learn consequences, I think is what he said.
They're just eating on their food. But yeah, it was. I thought it was very good.
He's funny this season because it's not any of his kids involved.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck them, arrest them.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? The thing that I really just never like bought into or never enjoyed. I shouldn't say I didn't buy into it because it's absolutely like plausible and realistic. All the stuff with the newspaper in 3. So Nancy and Jonathan work for the newspaper because it's like the summer. They're like interns there. And like the guys who worked there, they were just complete dicks. Like it made sense and it fit the storyline. But whenever they were there, I was just like, and I liked Nancy and I liked Jonathan. And I was just like, I feel like this could be better. They could have gotten to this in a better way.
Well, there's your Stranger Things season 4 review. It's got 2 T-Rex thumbs out of 2.
And then
possibly
16 genetically engineered thumbs. But
yeah.
I don't know what the limit on that is. So that could be really low or really high. I don't know how many thumbs you could like fit on a body before it's just too much blood flow.
It's just all thumbs.
Yeah, it's just all thumb.
The Octobow.
Shane, anything to add? I know you really liked it too.
Well, I'm a real big horror fan, so I just love that this season's been fucking terrifying. Big fan of Vecna.
And since you
Nick, how did you feel about the recap that you watched?
Really good. I think it went back to what I liked. I guess like I think I like season 1 the most, but season 2 it looked like they kind of went back to that. And I'm interested in watching it more now than I was.
The dude's insane over here.
Okay, it was like the one thing I tried to. I'm not Marvel.
I mean, you did watch 2 movies in the span of 24 hours for us, so in short notice,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. But then real quick, too, before we get into Jurassic World, Kenobi. We are halfway through the season of Kenobi. Just real quick, any thoughts? I'm a big fan. I actually watched this first before I watched Stranger Things, just because of the hype leading up to it. And again, we talked about kind of the presence of mind that Stranger Things didn't really have for being gone for so long, where Kenobi, like me, personally, I had a fucking like boner for Obi-Wan Kenobi growing up. And so I was really excited, and I was not disappointed. It's a slower burn, character-driven, really good. Some of the worst chase scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's the one. The rooftop's bad, but the woods one
woods
is
horrible.
the worst one I think I've ever
She
seen.
looks like she's running in slow motion.
I know.
And she's digging out grown men.
And he runs into like the tree branch, and then like why doesn't Obi-Wan just fucking grab her too? Like in the second episode. Anyway, I'm really liking it. Episode 3 was really good. And 4 will drop on Wednesday, right after you guys are. Right before you guys listen to, this
4 will have just dropped.
Yes, while you
when
guys
you
are
listen
listening to this.
Yes, I got
My
you.
God, it's Monday, boys. But thoughts, real quick on that. Real quick, 1 or 2 sentences.
I'm just looking forward to Vader fucking people up.
Vader fucking choked the kid out, dude. It was awesome.
That scene was cool, and when he pulled Obi-Wan into the fire, that was pretty cool.
I like that Vader is clearly just Anakin.
Yes.
Like it's not like this like Vader, not Vader loses his temper, but he's just like raw and just like
And it's
super
like they just.
emotional.
It feels like they just came from.
But I'm
Mustafar.
saying, like, if you watch Revenge of the Sith,
Yeah.
and Anakin's like screaming.
That's
and
what I
all,
mean.
Like,
It feels
being,
like
for lack of a better term, like being like a little baby, like a child about things, and like having temper tantrums. That's who this Vader seems like, which is cool. But with James Earl Jones' voice,
I like that
I
it's
don't think they
actually
paid him.
Hayden in the suit too. That's pretty cool.
They're paying him.
It's Hayden, but James Earl Jones' voice, right?
They're using some technology. I don't think they paid him. I don't think he
Really?
came
It's
in and
not
did it.
him?
No, he's credited for the voice.
It's clearly his.
It's
voice,
his voice,
yeah.
but it says at the bottom like audio effects. So
Okay.
everybody said online. Nick, you're really liking it too, right?
Yeah, I'm liking it. I think we talk a lot about it. That a lot of even the smaller moments, I think they're really diving deep and kind of connecting
Yeah.
things better now.
It's definitely a sequel to the episode 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I think at first I was just like, this is what it feels like the sequel finally is, the actual
Absolutely.
sequel trilogy to it.
I just remembered one thing I wanted to say. I like that they open up with like Order 66 as like the very
was so
opening
cool.
scene. That was
That's good.
Are you guys all caught up on the Clone Wars? I know you're probably
He's
not.
not yet.
No.
I've seen him.
But you know how the final season of Clone Wars happens during Order 66, and it reminded me of that. Like it's a really well done like
The
final
beginning
4
of
episodes.
Rebels is the same
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
So I think they're finally diving into things that they've done on all the offshoots that are really interesting, and these people are trying to kind of nitpick how you fit it in perfectly. I mean, a movie that came out 45 years
40
ago.
40 years ago.
I don't think it's gonna be perfect to fit in,
No,
but
it works, and there's rumor for a season 2. And what I actually starting to like now is that this Wednesday we'll have an episode of Kenobi and Miss Marvel. So actually things to watch on Disney Plus. That's not just once a week, which is it's getting good. And I Am Groot's coming out, and She-Hulk and all that stuff. All right, so we've talked enough.
Real quick,
Yeah.
just because I wanted. So weird thing that I saw after the fact. So they put it. The Stranger Things put a warning.
Yes.
On their first
They
episode,
did that
because
for-
there was, and Obi-Wan Kenobi comes out the same day and opens with Order 66 and the Jedi Kids and didn't, and that was like a big thing that online. Like people were like,
They didn't put it before the episode. I mean, I don't know because I didn't watch it on Friday. Like
I watched it Friday night. Was there one on?
I didn't watch Stranger Things on Friday night. I watched Obi.
Yeah.
And there wasn't anything. But then later that day, there was like under the episode, there was a
Obi-Wan Kenobi has one now.
has like
had
a
one
blurb,
after the fact,
but
okay.
not. But Stranger Things,
They
put
had it in
They
there
put it
already,
right in the beginning, like, hey, you know, we filmed this a year ago.
I was confused about that because the scene that they're referring to doesn't happen until like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes into the
in
episode.
Stranger Things.
They open up with it.
That's the opening scene is the massacre.
Oh, right. It's because it's a
That's the
flash.
issue.
It's her flashback,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's just because it's kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then is it later in that episode that they go back more into it?
Yeah, towards the end, I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
But yeah, so that's just some quick thoughts because we do have a lot to discuss with Jurassic World.
It doesn't hurt me. Do you wanna feel how it feels? Do you wanna know that it doesn't hurt me? Do you wanna hear about the deal they're making? It's you and me. And if only could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places.